That's it. I'm live. All right, Marcy, everybody watching asked me to do this, so it's funny. I have my hat on. Let's see. I'm going to wait and see who comes on before I start. Anybody? So this is literally my first live painting. A little nervous, but I think I got this. All right. I got somebody on. Roger Baker. Hey, Roger. How you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever because I haven't. How you doing? I think I've seen you since high school. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So, as you can see, so I have my hat on. It's really funny because I used to watch all the videos and people would be like, I was like, why do they all wear hats? And I'm like, oh, I realized after they wear hats because their hair gets in the paint. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out somewhere like have like green or white or something else in my hair because I absolutely had paint in my hair. So yeah, so I wanted to come on tonight because I actually was challenged by a friend of mine who did a live last night showing people how to do her cabinets, and she kind of called me out on it and asked me to start doing lives kind of explaining how I do blending and I do other things. So I decided to kind of jump on and do that and give a little shout out and explain how I do it. Elvira, oh my God, Elvira, how are you? Yay! Hey, Michelle, how are you? All right, it says I have 4. I see 3 listed. It says I have 4 people on. I'm going to try and look at the comments as I'm going over things and painting. The blend thing is really cool. So Paul has this, I'm moving my camera a little bit. Paul has this little thing here that goes on wheels so I can kind of move it around a little bit and see. This is my workshop, as you can see. People ask how I take the pictures. I have drops. I use drops. So we put a drop on there so that nobody could see all the mess in our workshop that we have here. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to go through is I'm going to go through some of the tools that I use, the tools that I personally like to work with, especially when I'm working. The first thing, this baby right here, I don't know if you guys can see this thing. It's actually an hydraulic table. And let me see if I can get behind a little bit to show you how it works. So I was given this for Christmas, and I literally use my foot to pop up what I want to work on. I have to tell you, even though it was a gift, it was probably one of the best gifts that I've gotten, besides my my Festool sander. But this goes up to my level so that I don't have to be sitting for a long period, stooping, things like that. And then when I'm ready, I can just lower it slowly by this handle. It's an amazing hydraulic table. If you're going to be painting and stuff, I recommend you actually spend the money, get it. That's one of my big things. Hey, Josh, how you doing? The other thing I want to go over is my brushes. So some people spend a lot of money on brushes, some people don't. I used to only get Purdy brushes. Hey, Trish. I used to only get Purdy brushes over at Lowe's because I got the extra soft. I like the way that worked. And I still use Purdy brushes, don't get me wrong. But when I'm doing blending and I'm doing certain things, I love, love, love my Dixie Belle brushes. So these are actually my go-to brushes that I use all the time. All the time. Diane! Oh my God! How are you? So if you don't know, I am a Dixie Belle dealer. If you live local, you can get our stuff at Junction 71 over in Amherst. If you don't, I do have everything that I'm going to show you on our website available. I'll explain to you why these are my favorite brushes. So this one right here is our Dixie Belle Mini. I don't know if you can see that, but it is so soft. So when you're putting on your paints, it actually just smooths it out really well. Hey, Laura! It smooths it out really well. You don't get your brush strokes. Then again, Dixie Belle is self-leveling paint, so it really does help with not having those brush strokes anyways. My other go-to, and I always have 2 of these, is the Dixie Belle Oval Medium. And I love these. They're just so soft, and they just blend everything. And when you see me putting the paint on here in a few minutes, you'll see why I love these paints so much. And this is the Oval Small. or the round small actually. I like this one as well because when I'm getting into little spots, or when I was doing this, I had to do these legs. This worked out great for the legs because it didn't like split the brush. You know, sometimes when you go to paint, it'll split it. It doesn't split the brush. It goes exactly where you need to go. So these are my go-to. I also use the Purdy when I need to, but I tend to go to these because I just love the way they go on. So as you can see, I clean them, but I can only clean, hey Brittany, I can only clean them so much. What do I do to clean them? I actually rinse them first in hot water. I always rinse them in hot water. I use a little bit of Dove dishwashing liquid on them. But then the other thing, look at, can you guys see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. That's like chalk dust coming up from my brushes. One of the things I do as well is if I have a lot of paint on there that I need to get off, because say the brush stuck, because I can't tell you how many times I leave a brush and I forget that I didn't wrap it. Because what I usually do is, hey Terry, I use these as scrubbies. These are available. If you're local, we have them at Junction. One of the girls there with me, Joni, actually sells these. But if you're not, they are on my website as well. They ship directly with your Dixie Belle stuff. These things are the bomb. If you've not tried them, they are the bomb. Hey, Dee! I happen to love the orange. It's just the smell I like. It has a little scrubby built in right here. As you can see, is a little scrub to it. What I'll do is I'll actually spread my brushes out and I'll just lightly brush them as well to try and get all the extra off. And it keeps them nice and soft and where they want to be. Plus, this is amazing to get paint off your hands, inside your nails. It takes off oils. It takes off... We keep one at our kitchen sink because Paul does a lot of work around the house and different things, and he'll use it as well. It's amazing. I keep them like pretty much in stock at our house. So those are the brushes. The other brush that is a major brush that I love to use, this is called our French tip brush. Hey, Ann. The reason that I love this brush is, can you see it's pointed? So, for example, if I have something that has a lot of crevices, like this doesn't have a lot of crevices, but if it did, this would get right into those crevices for me with the paint. I wouldn't have to worry about smashing my brush into those crevices. And, Terry just called me pretty lady. Thank you, Terry. That way it doesn't ruin your brush either. This actually is a brand new one. I just opened it up because I did the no-no. My last one, I was painting. If you guys saw the last thing that I did, which has the blended up with the bright colors and the peonies on it, I left the brush out like for 2 days. So it's no good. I had to throw it out. There was no getting the paint off it. So anyways, I had to get a new one. These are on my website as well. You can check these out. All right. So one of the most important things, the other tool that I use when I'm painting and blending is a fine mist mister. These things are the bomb. If you're going to paint furniture, hi, Annie. If you're going to paint furniture, you're always gonna want to have one of these. So the good thing, like I said, Dixie Belle is self-leveling, but as you're painting with any type of chalk paint, it'll start to thicken up on you. So you definitely need some kind of water and mister. And yes, you can water and mist your paints down. If your paints are too thick, you add a little tiny water to them and shake them really good. It's not gonna hurt the consistency. It's not gonna hurt the sealing properties to it. It's not gonna do anything to it. It'll still have that nice pigment to it that you need as well. But I keep water in a container down over here. I keep this mister with me at all times. So major tools that we're going to use tonight are my favorite brushes. I have two because I'm going to use two different colors. My mister. And then we're going to put this stuff down for now. But the first thing I want to go through is how important it is to prep your furniture. You could be the best painter in the world, but if you don't prep your furniture, it's going to come out like crap when you're said and done. So, all right, I'm going to try and see. I don't know if you guys can see if I can lift that up here. As you can see on top of this, do you see those marks on there? When I first got this piece, it actually, believe it or not, was like in kind of two pieces. Pete! Shush your mouth. Hey, Debbie. It was actually almost in like three pieces. And Paul had to kind of put it back together for me so that I could paint it and do whatever I want to. So this thing has definitely been a labor of love. But as you could see on the top, it had a lot of dings. It had different things going on with it. One of the reasons that I want to do a blending and kind of a texture on the top is because there was no way to get out all of the dings without replacing the top. And this is a pretty old piece. I didn't want to mess with the top, so instead I'm going to give it some love. I typically like to sand it down and stain a lot of the tops that I do, but this one was not a possibility because it actually has a veneer kind of feel to it. So I didn't want a chance that it was veneer once I kept getting down with the sanding and stuff. So instead, we're going to paint it. All right, so to prep, the first thing you're going to do is you're actually going to check all your dings. You're going to inspect it really, really good. You want to make sure that all of your crevices, your dings and everything are taken care of. So what do I use? This is the white. This one has brown on it. This is Dixie Belle Mud. So the thing that I love about this, hey Brandy, the thing that I love about this is, I don't know if you can see this, but it's almost like a paste. It looks like drywall mud, and it actually goes on like drywall mud. So it's really thin. It's not like a normal wood putty, which is really thick and kind of hard to spread and even out. And then I usually use the plastic spatula, one that you can get for like 99 cents at Home Depot. And I put it on and I kind of level it out and lay it across it to level it out. You let it dry. And then the next thing I do is I take a sanding pad. I have sanding pads here. There's a 220 pad. And I just lightly sand it just like this, because what it's going to do is it's actually going to level it out. Hey, Sandy. It's going to level it out so that you do not have any bumps or grooves as much as possible. Sometimes you just can't help it, but this will definitely help it out. The second thing that you're going to do with the piece, so there's a couple of prep things, then you're going to clean it actually. So the second thing first before we prep is cleaning it. So one of the things that we use for cleaning, and I'm going to go try and find the container for it, and if I can't find it, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, so I just remembered why I can't show you. Hey, Jen, is because my white lightning is upstairs, because I mix it upstairs because I have hot water upstairs and then I bring it downstairs. I also keep it in a spray bottle. If I knew where my spray bottle was too. I've been working on 4 different pieces at once right now. Hey, Carol. So you keep it in a spray bottle. One of the biggest things about it, this stuff is amazing. It takes off any grease, any dirt that's on there, especially an older piece. They're kind of going to be grunged up. Sometimes if it's really old, I'll use like a 000 scouring pad as well, like, or what's the best way to put it? I don't even know what to call it right now, but basically I want to use a scouring pad with it, and you're going to spray it down, scrub it really good. It has like a thicker consistency to it than just water. You'll feel it as you put it on. I always wear gloves, by the way, because it is still a chemical of some type, and I want to make sure that I don't have it on my hands. So I do wear gloves when I use it. And then the next thing you want to do is you're going to take a hot rag, rinse it, and you're going to wipe it back down again to make sure you don't leave any of the chemical on here. This whole set has been prepped already. That's why I'm kind of can't show you as I'm doing it, because as you can see, I already painted the bottom part of it. I did a blend up on it. So this was already prepped. Now, once that dries from that, you have to kind of look at your piece and say, all right, hey, Kim, you have to kind of look at your piece. Hey, Stephanie, and kind of figure out what exactly it is that you're going to do to it. So there's a couple different ways that you need to prep your piece besides just cleaning. So if your piece is in great shape, it's not really shiny, and you're not going to use a lighter color, then you're all set to paint. You can just start painting. If it is not, if you're using a white color or it's shiny, or you're not even white, even a lighter color, or it's shiny, you're going to want to prep. So the first thing, so let's talk about the shiny thing, because this is not, so I want to show you that first. If you have something that's already painted, and a lot of times I'll have like a gloss on it or something like that. Hey! Kim, you need help? That's all right. I'm here for help. I'm going to go over that at the end. I'm going to explain to you guys how I can help all you, all right? you do not have to sand your pieces down to paint them, but you do need to prep them. So if it's shiny, or if you're going to paint on glass or ceramic or anything that's not like a wood surface, you're going to want to use this on it. It's called Slick Stick. It comes in white, and I have to tell you, this stuff is the bomb. So basically, you're going to take it, you use a disposable brush. Do not use one of your good brushes. Use a disposable brush and brush it on, and then you let it dry. If it's a really like a good surface that I feel like, oh, maybe I need another coat because I don't want a chance that it doesn't adhere, I'll go ahead and I'll do another one. I let it dry overnight before I go and paint. That's when you're using the Slick Stick, especially on glossy surfaces, glass. Hey, Sue. And yes, you can paint glass with Dixie Belle. You can paint literally anything. You can paint fabric. With fabric, it's really cool because we have this thing called Easy Peasy wax spray. So when you use your fabric, you use a little brush and you do circle motions and you wipe it just to kind of give it that soft feel and kind of sand it again, and it softens it up. And then you spray it with this wax and it keeps it soft. And I'm going to tell you right now, from experience, when you get this paint on your clothes, it does not come off. So it's actually great for fabric. Now this piece, if you could take a look at this, if you can see the top, it's actually got a reddish tint to the wood, which that's a big like red flag that when I go to paint it, there's a good chance that the tannins might come through. So the wood tannins they'll show up and come through in time without a top coat. But once you put a top coat on, there is some kind of chemical in the top coats that you use that literally pulls that tanning right through, and you'll get orange, you'll get yellow, you'll get bleeding right through your colors. It's mostly light colors. Sometimes darker colors, but most of the time light colors. So what I do is I always treat it no matter what, because I don't want a chance at coming through. So what I treat it with, and this comes in clear, which is nice if somebody does distressing and stuff, you want it to be able to get through, as well as it comes in a white. This right here, so what I do is I use a disposable brush. Hey, Stacy. I use a disposable brush. I paint it on. I wait an hour. And then I put on another coat. And then I wait another hour before I paint. And like I said, this has already been prepped, so we're really not gonna prep this tonight, but Boss is the bomb. So it blocks odor, stains, and stops bleed through. So that's why it's called Boss, and it is the boss. All right, so the one thing I don't have sitting over here that I need to get because I use them to paint is I use little disposable bowls. So give me 2 seconds. All right, so my paints personally, I try not to keep them in their containers because I don't want to keep opening and closing them. I have what are called FIFO bottles. Can you see those? They use these in the restaurant industry if you're familiar with them. I take them out and I put them in here, and then I turn them over and I squeeze out. We're literally going to use that much paint to do the top of this. So then it saves my paint, and then if I need to fill it, I do it from the other side. So it's first in, first out, meaning what I used first comes out first, so all my newer paint goes to the top so I don't have to worry. So what we're going to start with first, this is called coffee bean. I use coffee bean for so many things because it's a really dark brown, and it just goes on really smooth. So all right, let's get started. If I can't see you guys and you can't see me, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep turning around to see, and I'm going to try and stand actually somewhat behind it so you can see. Let me see if I move it up a little closer too. Maybe it'll help. All right. Can you guys all see that? All right. Oh, I'll go over this after with you. And this. All right. So I'm not going to use my mister at first because I don't think I'm really going to need it at first. Except what I do, I'm saying that, but I actually always mist my brushes first because I want them to be damp. Those of you who have known me for a long time know that I used to own a company called Drinkable Arts, and Diane was on here. She's still on here. And that's what I used to tell everybody too there. You need to wet your brushes first, at least dampen them, because what happens is it helps the paint actually perform. It actually goes onto the brush better, and you can actually put it on better. Marcia! All right. So, I'm going to start with the coffee bean. If you guys can see me, I'm going to show you how I do this. So, I literally go and brush. See how nice that goes on? Like, this is amazing how it just, like, goes right onto the thing. And as you can see, this is going to be our first coat. I'm not going to stress too much about the first coat because we are going to do 2 coats of this, and what will happen is it will hopefully, and no hopefully about it, this will cover it to where it absolutely can be blended up. I'm not stressing too much on the sides either, because that's actually where I'm going to blend my next piece, my next color onto. So one of the things as I'm painting this, I'm realizing how porous the wood is, so there's a good chance I may go through some extra paints that, so I'm probably going to use a little more paint on this one than I normally would. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see where it's going right over the mud that I did, the Dixie mud covering those spots, just like nothing, like you wouldn't even know that it's there. One of the things I do try to tell people too, or I try to do, and I suggest it, is you want to use longer strokes if you're doing a hot area, a long area, just so that your strokes actually blend in and you don't show where the one stroke leaves the other stroke. Alright, so while I'm painting, Diane, oh, Denise is watching. Hey! Diane, I'm here, I've used Coffee Bean. Yay! Alright, so one of the things that Kim had mentioned, she's like, oh, I just need some help. Well, good for you. I actually just started doing I'm doing video consultations with everybody. Sorry if I keep going out of the screen. I'm trying to paint at the same time. And just to let you know before I finish that, I am going to use my mister. I am going to be doing video consultations with people. If you need help and you're not sure where to go with your stuff, all you have to do is reach out to me. I do free video consultations. And if you book a free video consultation with me right now, I will give you a discount on your paint order that you do from that consultation, so that you don't have to worry. I know at this times right now it's really tough. Everybody's like, hey, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And, you know, where do I get paints? Are they still doing paints? Dixie Belle is considered essential. I'm not sure, but somehow it was considered essential, so they are actually open during this time. So what's happening is they are drop shipping all their paints for me. So anybody that orders from our site, I literally just put the order in right with them, and it's good to go. I'm going to try and move this just a little bit so that you guys can see. I can see that you guys can't see where I am. All right, that's better. So what they will do is they will drop ship it right to your house. No need to go anywhere. No need to leave where you are. And the good news is I'm going to give everybody a discount code at the end of this call. If you want to go to my site and order paints tonight, the code will be good for till the end of this weekend for 10% off. And then to top it off, Dixie Belle, all Dixie Belle paints, when you order $75 or more, are free shipping anyway. So it's just a little extra that you get to get on there. Let me see, a little extra savings. When we do open up back up and they allow us to start doing things, anybody that lives local, I am going to be doing more painting things at Junction. I got to miss the whole front here. So you guys be more than happy to visit me there. And we can have a little painting tutorial in person. All right, so that is the first coat. Went on pretty good, right? So one of the things that I do as well, I feel like I'm like right in the camera. Denise, you bought paint today? I saw somebody bought paint today. I didn't know it was you. I wrap all my brushes when I'm using them, in the process of using them and still painting. I wrap them in saran wrap. It keeps them nice and fresh, and I can go right back to them, and they're nice and wet for me to keep going. So while we're waiting, I'm actually going to show you guys another little thing. So I am also a dealer for Redesign with Prima. We don't have a lot in stock right now, but I am pulling more. So I don't know if you guys can see this in the light. This was the original hardware for this, which looked like this. I tried to clean it and do everything I could. I couldn't get it to come clean, and I wanted it to be that nice brassy look. I don't know if you guys can see right here. Like, isn't that adorable? So, good evening, Gloria. Hey, Tammy. So, what I did is I got the Eternal Wax, It's amazing. The stuff is, look at the pigments on that. So I'm not only doing this, so I painted this with the wax. It dried the next morning. I did it at night. The next morning it looked great. Hey, Kate, how are you? But now what I'm going to do is I want to actually do some accenting on these little grooves right here, if you can see them. I want to do them in the gold too. So just to give you a little look at how this is going, as you can see, I still haven't done the tops of the drawers or the sides. I paint my furniture with the drawers in, and I know you're going to say, oh no, do they paint close? I used to think they would, and then, oh, Tammy, you're so funny. I used to think they would close up on me, but then I realized that, you know what? They really don't. I started watching a lot of the videos online of people that paint furniture. So Brush by Brandy, I love her. Love her. So almost obsessively, I know that's stupid. CC Restyled, another awesome one. Dion with the turquoise iris is another great one. Joni in Tide Decor is amazing. Like, there's certain ones that I just follow, and I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of them because I literally watch them all. A lot of them are Dixie Belle ambassadors, so I get to see all their videos because they're nice enough to do lives all the time, and I learn so much from them. So, yeah, if you can do that, watch them. All right, so I have one of my artist brush, so I paint canvases too, so I'm lucky enough to have artist brush. So that's how much I'm actually putting on here. And I am literally just going to go in here and I am going to update this. Just like that. Just to give it that look. Because I want to have the gold trimming in here. So if you can see me, I'm scooted down. So another thing, anybody that watches the videos, they're always like sitting on the ground. I always say to Paul, I'm like, oh my God, how do they get off the ground? Like if I sat on the floor, I'd have to scream for him to come get me because I can't get back up. So you know what I have? Oh, I have to show you guys my other favorite thing to paint with. I have a mechanic's chair. This thing is the bomb. Goes up and down. I lay my paints on the bottom rack. I can swivel all around stuff. It's just fun. All right, let me see here. Let's go back to what we were doing. None of this nonsense of dancing. All right, so I'm just going to use the brush and go in and around these corners. And I don't know if you guys can see the detail from here. So let me try and see if I can get that down closer. Can you guys see that? Somebody yell to me if you can see that. All right. Denise has one too. Denise and I share a lot of the same things as we paint. I know for a fact she has the tool caddies as well. Glenn, hey! All right, so as you can see, I actually have to go different directions because of the way that I painted on. I just want to use this wax as a highlight because I want it to be able to look at it and go, ooh, I see that gold. I see that gold. All right, let me see. So another thing, I usually wear gloves when I'm painting because I tend to get paint and stain and things all over me, and I actually wear different clothes usually. But with everything going on, there's little shortage on gloves, so not, which stinks because if any of you guys know this, I'm actually getting married a week from tomorrow. So I have to, they look like crap. Nobody's doing nails, gonna have to do them myself. Maybe I'll just paint them with some of this stuff. You never know. All right. The good thing is that scrubby that I told you about gets all that stuff off. All right, so I am actually looking at this here. It looks like we're starting to dry over here. That's how fast that dries. Dixie Belle is one of the fastest drying paints I've ever dealt with in my life. It's amazing. So this right here is a tedious and long process. However, when it's said and done, it looks awesome. I'm actually going to put this aside because I'm going to start working on the blending aspect of things so you guys can see how I blend up on everything. Brenda, hey! Thank you, Stephanie. All right. So this doesn't have paint on it. Typically I would clean my wax brushes after because I don't want them to set within it. But this one I'm actually going to put it in my saran wrap, just like I showed you, so that it stays on here. Diane, I'm glad you like Dixie Belle. Who the heck you buying it from anyways, lady? You should be buying it from me. All right, let's get on to, let me get another bowl. All right, so I am actually, so we already have the one brush that I used the coffee bean with, and I'm actually going to turn this way so you can see me working over here. There we go. But I'm going to use a different one to accent with as well. So we're going to use the coffee bean and this one. This is called Midnight Sky. So what I love about Midnight Sky is, I don't know if you can see it, it's not necessarily black, but it's not gray. Oh, cool, Diane, thank you. It's almost like a really, really dark charcoal, if that makes sense. Matter of fact, on the bottom of this, which I'll show you guys after, that's what's there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my cocoa bean. And then the other thing I'm going to need, which I didn't have over here, shop towels. Hey, Dawn. These are shop towels. They're actually like these right here. I buy them by the box because I go through so many of them. You're going to need those when you're blending because you want to make sure your blending brush stays nice and clean, as clean as you can keep it, because if you don't, what'll happen is it will actually start to muddy up a little bit. So, all right, let's keep going here. I'm going to do my, see it's dry that I can actually put that down right there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my mister from back here because I left it back here. You can tell this is my first live. I'm kind of like jumping around everywhere. Sorry, guys. All right, so I missed my piece and I missed my brush because I want them to both. And as you can see, it goes on in a really light film at that point. Now, I am going to be blending on these sides, so I'm not going to go all the way into the center yet because I want to do my side blending because that's what I'm showing you guys tonight is my side blending. So while this is still wet, and as you can see, I'm just completely using the paint that's already on my brush. It's actually going ahead and making that seamless coat for me, which is what I want it to do. All right, now I'm going to take, this is my other medium. I'm going to save that to blend with. I'm actually going to take this small one, and this hasn't been used yet, so I absolutely need to spray it. All right, I am going to take this Midnight Black. I'm going to paint it all on these edges. Because this is what I want to blend in. I'm just going to paint the edges. And I actually want to go in just a little bit with this, I think. So I never know what colors I'm going to use. I literally start painting and then I go, oh yeah, no, I want to use those colors. No, I want to use those colors. Once in a while, I know my colors. Hey, Corey. But I typically don't know what colors I'm going to use because I can't decide. All right, so I'm not sure you guys can see that difference over here. There's actually a difference between the two, the gray to the brown. What I'm going to do next is, if you can see my brush, I'm going to spray the brush. There's nothing on it. It's just lightly wet. And then I'm going to just take my brush and I'm going to lightly just blend it. So the thing about this is you want to let the bristles do the job for you. You don't want to press into your paint. You want to just let the bristles do the brush for you. So what it's going to do is it's going to blend it through and blend it right into that other color for you. So now this whole side has been blended up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my towels and then I just do this with it. So you can see it all come off on there. Because what's going to happen if you don't, it's going to muddy your colors together and you don't want to muddy together. You want to see that nice transition. So let's see if we can see, if you guys can see that transition here from that darker gray going into the brown. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. That's what we were trying to achieve. And now I am going to do some on the back end because what I noticed when I did it is I actually want it to frame the whole piece. So I'm actually going to put some of the Midnight over here. I'm going to take some of this. I do this all the time. That's what I do. I need like 10 hands. I'm going to paint, I'm going to spray. And I want to get some more coffee bean on there. You can hear me? It's so great. Alright, so I want some more coffee bean, but I'm going to spray it a little bit. And then I'm going to take this brush again, and I'm going to feather it in. I want to feather it all into that coffee bean color because I want it to blend together and have that nice seamless look. You don't want to have a line that says, oh look, there's two different colors. You want to have it seamlessly blend right into it so that it goes to the next spot. Yeah, so it's amazing what you can hold with your mouth when you're trying to paint, right? I'm going to keep going on the front here. I don't mean to have my back to you, but I just want to keep going while I do this. Let me clean my brush. So I usually have on my apron, and it has a little bit of a pocket in it, so I use that sometimes. But I went the cheap way today, or the lazy man's way, I guess you would say it. All right, so here's some coffee beans. I want to go ahead and put some of that on. I'm going to go ahead and do the middle section because I want it to start blending in. And then I'm going to use this. Again, I'm using my Midnight Sky. Maybe in the front here you guys can actually see the differences a little bit more. It's funny because it kind of has almost like a purpley look to it if I really look at it on a different level. All right, I'm going to spray, and I'm going to spray my blending brush right at the very end. And again, I'm just going to use the tips of my brush to let it do the work for me. I'm not going to force it. It'll do it all for me. As you can see, I just kind of like swish it around. If your brush starts to drag, that means that your paint needs a little bit of water on it, okay? Like I said, this stuff dries so quick that you have to kind of stay on top of it. All right, so that is the gist of how you go ahead and you start your blending. All this was done in blending as well. I told you guys I would show you the different colors. So if you see, it started with Midnight Sky, goes up to Stormy Seas, which is one of our blues, to Vintage Duck Egg, and then into Sea Glass at the top here. Those are all blended up the same way. And you just use these brushes. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Jody. So, does anybody have any questions for me? All right, so while I'm waiting for questions, because there's a little delay always with comments, and it's a delay for comments, it's a delay for me to see who comes on. I just wanted to remind you guys that I am having a special for everybody that just got logged in tonight. So if you put in live, or first live, spell out first, FIRST, live, no spaces, on the website. Thanks, Michelle. Bercier, you're so funny. Yeah, you just let the brush do it for you. If you do first live on the site and go all the way down, and then when you put that in, it'll give you your 10%. Kim, the list is way too long. Oh, questions that you have, that's funny. Hey, Lucy. You can get 10% off the site until Sunday night. It ends Sunday night. It's just a little thing that I'm putting out there. Do I have a custom piece if someone needed done? I do. I actually have file cabinets here that I did for somebody she has gorgeous wood cabinets, and we did them in like a hurricane gray blended with a light gray and some black wax and stuff like that. I'll come on and do more lives now that I've broken my bubble on it, I guess is the best way to put it. And yes, the discount is good for anything on the site. The one thing I want to tell you is the wood you bend, and that's a whole nother video on itself. The wood you bend ships from me because I keep it. I have to buy that from overseas. I actually purchase it from England, keep it here, and I ship it out. The all the Dixie Belle products actually ship directly from Dixie Belle. Some redesign from Prima will, not much. I have that here as well, which I'm slowly adding more to the site as well, like the waxes and different things, as I get more in, because I have to keep stock here in order to do it. I think Michelle and Kim are drinking wine. I see you guys calling each other out on that. The other thing is, like I said, I am giving free consultations. If you guys have a piece and you have this little piece and you say, I don't know where to start with it, Cheryl, can you help me? Just set up a time with me. We'll video call. I'll look at it. I'll tell you exactly what you need to complete it. And then go from there. Michelle said, did you say paint filing cabinets? Yes, you can paint metal with this. It's awesome. You can do metal file cabinets. You just have to treat it with the slick stick first so that it sticks. And I would put 2 coats of the slick stick on, and then you can paint the file cabinets. Absolutely. The cabinets I have here, though, were wood, but you can do metal. I actually did a metal one already. So, yeah, you could definitely do metal. You just have to treat it first so the paint sticks to it and doesn't come off. You can paint flower pots. You can paint picture frames. You can paint, like I said, fabric. Hey, Denise, what's up, girl? You can paint fabric with it, and it's easy to coat. So fabric, Dixie Belle paints stay on fabric. Like, you can't get it out when you get it on, so it stays. And then we have a sealer. It's called Easy Peasy Spray. So it's a spray wax, and it makes it soft. I have a chair around here somewhere that was done, but I'm actually refinishing it, so it's kind of half in, half out. Maybe that's something I'll show you guys when I go to do fabric again so that you guys can see it. I'm looking around my shop as I'm talking to you. I have so many things to do. I'd like to go over the No Pain Gel Stain with you guys. That stuff is amazing. So No Pain Gel Stain is a stain product that we carry that you don't even have to fully sand your product. You just have to get the main gloss off of it. Hey, Keith. Oh, a lot of stuff going in the Mercier house today. I got both adults. Whoop, whoop. So, you only have to get the top coat off it, like that poly or the coating, the lacquer that's on it, if they use a lacquer or a varnish. So you just take that off, and then you go across the wood grain and then wipe it back and then seal it. That's what I use on most of the products that I have, most of the furniture that I do is the No Pain Gel Stain, and it goes so far. It's almost like pudding when you take it out, and I brush it on with a sponge brush that I throw away after. And yeah, I love that stuff. Michelle said, great time for painting and redoing stuff during quarantine. Absolutely, girl. I have to tell you, I have been painting and painting and painting. I'm sure you guys are probably tired of seeing my stuff on there. Another class that I'll do another video. Somebody asked me how I do the dry brush look that is on the beach dresser that I have. So that's actually a really cool technique. I learned that from Joni Segura. She's, I belong to a group that she does, that she's Vintage Tide Decor. She shows that how to do that whole dry brush look, and that's where I learned that from. So I'll do another class showing dry brush because it's really fun. All right, so I have Would You Bend class. I'll do a video on that. I'll do a dry brush video. Like I said, any questions you guys can ask me at any time. I'm always willing to answer questions for anybody. If you're going to buy paints a lot, I really suggest these FIFO bottles. They save the paint that you use. You don't use as much paint. Hey, Dottie. Oh, so Michelle, you can do regular cabinets as well. You just have to clean them really well with the cleaner that I spoke about earlier, the White Lightning. You got to do a couple coats of cleaning with them. And then from there you paint. The one thing that I didn't show you guys yet, so when this dries, the one thing that I am going to do, if you don't lightly sand this down, it will have that chalky feel to it, which you don't want. So what you would want to do is just, as you can see here, you just want to lightly sand it. That's it. And now if you touch it, smooth as butter. All right, Diane said, can you do one with transfers? Absolutely. I actually have a piece that I want to do anyways with transfers. It's sitting, I'm looking at it right over there in my garage. So when I go to do that one, I'll definitely do one with the transfers. The one thing with me with transfers is I hardly ever use a full sheet. They come in like 3 sets, like 3 pieces to put them together. A lot of times, like the one that I just did that you guys all just saw go up with the the peony on them is, that's actually ones cut apart. I cut them all up and placed them where I wanted them and stuff like that. But they're a lot of fun to do. They're awesome. I do have some in stock too, by the way, of those. I don't have them all up on the website right now, but I will have more on the website. Kim said, where do you get them? Where do I get what? Oh, thanks, Michelle. Kim, if you could tell me what you're talking about, where do you get them? I can answer that for you. Michelle, if you're talking about kitchen cabinets, let's chit chat. I can explain to you how to do them, or come do them yourself for you. Maybe. We'll see. There's a couple other products on another call I'll go over, like some of our top coats. We have another top coat that I love. It's called Gator Hide. It's waterproof. It literally seals it so much. Okay, the FIFO bottles, I get them on Amazon. If anybody wants the link to the ones that I buy, I will send them to you. Just message me and I'll send you the link. I actually get them on Amazon. We don't sell them at Dixie Belle. Kim's drunk. Yes, FIFO bottles. FIFO bottles. I just realized that I talk really fast, so sometimes people don't understand what I'm saying. Hey, Tim. If there's anything else that you guys want me to do a live on, just shoot me a message. What I would really appreciate too is if you guys could share my page and share some of the stuff that I paint in our products. That would be awesome, especially during this downtime. That's just how I generate my extra income. And I would really, really appreciate that. Share the video. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you log onto my videos, you can actually do a watch party and share it so that other people can watch it with you. That would be awesome, especially if it's, a lot of people that might be interested in what I'm going over. But all right, live on kitchen cabinets. No, those aren't safety glasses. Those are my Zinni. Have you guys ever done Zinni, where you order your glasses online? I was so scared. I thought I was going to be like, when I got them. But they actually are cool. Safety glasses. Thanks, Keith. These are my cool big glasses. Diane, you're in, so one of the girls on the call is in Long Island, when the epicenter of everything that's going on, somewhat of the epicenter. She works at a hospital. So Diane, thinking about you every day, honey. I hope you're good. I know Michelle just went back into nursing again as well. I'm not sure who else is here that is essential and on the front lines, but wow, thinking about everybody every day and hope everybody stays safe, so that, it's important to remember everyone else around us. Michelle, you can redo them if you want. We can redo the cabinets. I'll even come over after all this is done and show you. Right now, I don't really visit people, so because of, everybody knows that I have kind of a immune system that's compromised, so I try and stay at my house so I don't do that. Hey, Melissa, what's up? Actually, she's one that I might be doing a customer. Somebody asked about custom orders. She's somebody I might be doing a custom order from when all this is said and done. So I'm going to call it for the night and probably finish this top, and I'll let you guys see the pictures when it's done. All right? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for my first painting live. I can't believe I finally did it. And I'm going to try and do this once a week at least. So you got a party. I did have like a little party going on. It's nice. Nice. I do want to give a shout out to Junction 71. If you guys haven't been to where I keep all my stuff, Junction 71, the bomb. They do curbside pickup. If you go to their Facebook page, you can see everything is for sale, and it's not just me, it's other people that do furniture and other things. And, shop small, support your community, do everything you can to pump up the people around you and that you love around. All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye.